What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys doing? Today's a beautiful day. Not only because it's about 70 degrees out and it's just a lovely day all around, but because we are out on Ms. Lola. Yeah, she's up and running. Finished putting her all back together today. Really haven't ridden her since about November, so it has been a while. So this is like her maiden voyage with everything put back together. And I had to go for a little spin. So let's talk about everything that's been going on with this bike, why it's been down, what's taking so long, and yeah, let's go have some fun. Alright guys, yeah, so she's been down since about November. I haven't ridden her. It's been a long time, and I'll tell you, man, wow, it feels so good to be back on her. Such a different bike, different beast, like power-wise. It's like a fucking rocket, man. I love this thing. I absolutely love this bike, man. It's just, it's a beautiful bike. It's so good to be back on her. And so what has been going on with this bike? So for a lot of you guys that still follow me on Instagram, or if you guys follow on the Friday Night Hangouts, the other guys live every Friday, either on my channel or Billy's channel, yeah, you kind of know the background. If not, let me go ahead and get into this. So the Daytona's been having a few issues. One, she was kind of leaking a little bit of oil. I couldn't really figure out where the oil was coming from. And two, when she was hot, she wouldn't start. Like if it was hot, after riding her for a while, I could not get her to start. I had to let it cool down and go. After reading some forums, I found that the particular stator that was used in this year model, the stator had some issues where the heat shield would just kind of stop working. And so as it would heat up, it wouldn't allow enough power to get through the stator and get the thing started. So after reading that, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the stator and the actual rectifier. So I did in November, or actually October. I reached out to a company, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll send you one for free," because I wanted to do a full install video because I had not seen an install video for a stator or anything like that on this bike. So I was like, "Shit, you know, I have another bike. I can take my time and get it done." And so they sent it out, no problems. Now, this is where we ran into like a shit show. So, this particular year has 3 different VINs. In each VIN, they moved all kinds of shit and changed everything. And through that process, I found that the stator that they had sent me didn't fit. So I had pulled pretty much the other stator almost all the way out. And, but then I realized, oh shit, this doesn't fit. So I hit them up, and you know, we went back and forth, and that's when we found out, like, hey, this has 3 different VINs. Each year they changed things, and they didn't have the fucking model that I needed. So I was kind of SOL. You know, I can't really hate on them. They were hooking it up, so no big deal. You know, no big deal. So the next step was I had to find one. So of course I went up to South Bay, and you know, if you guys are ever in San Diego, make sure to go check them out and talk to the homie Mark, and he took care of me. He was able to get me a stator, but it did have to come from overseas, of course, and man, that took a while. That took a long time. That took a while to get that damn thing. And so it sat in the garage for a few months, and you know, between waiting for the first stator, taking my time, taking it apart, and then ordering the new stator, waiting for that to come in, that took a while. And so finally it came in, and it already had been about 3 months. What's this? Yeah, almost 3 months. And I was like, there's no way I don't even remember where all these fucking screws are. So at that point I was like, all right, let me find a deal. There's no dealers next to me, by the way. Like Triumph dealers, there's none near me. And I already had the bike taken apart, so I had no way to get it to a dealer. What I ended up doing is finding a mobile mechanic in my area. He had some good ratings on Yelp, and he was going to charge me, I think he said 90 bucks, or no, 120 bucks. 120 bucks to come and swap the stator out. And I was like, fuck it, do it. And sure enough, you know, he ended up having an earlier appointment, and so I took it. He came out. Little did he know it was going to take a little longer, and it ended up taking probably close to like 2 hours, if not a little bit more, to get the stator swapped out, just because, I mean, Daytona, right? Like, that's, shit's just crazy tight on this thing. So he ended up taking a little bit longer, and it ended up costing me a little bit more, so it was like 210 bucks. Damn, man, I miss this bike a whole lot. Holy shit. Sorry, I just completely missed this bike. And so yeah, it took him a little longer, so it was like 210 bucks, and he finally swapped it out. And then, you know, to make it cheaper, he's like, you can put the fairings on and do all that other stuff, and you know, we made sure it turned on and everything. Of course, you know, it's never that simple. So after I got it all back together, I saw a check engine light, and I was like, fuck, now I have a check engine light. No clue, I didn't have one before, but now I had a check engine light. So I ended up, you know, finding an OBD2 reader that I used to use on my Durango, a Bluetooth one. Reading online, there was an app called Tune ECU, and they were like, yeah, if you use this dongle with, you know, the Tune ECU, you can clear codes, read codes. So I was like, boom, winning. So I tried it out, and sure enough, it freaking worked. And not only that, it allowed me to clear the maintenance thing that's pretty much been there all the time since I started changing my own doing my own maintenance, because normally you have to take it to Triumph to get all that stuff taken care of. So yeah, so I was able to clear that, and there was 2 check engine lights. There was 2 codes. One was its voltage issue, and I figured maybe because it's been off the battery for so long, that could have been the problem. And the other one was like a P1105 or something. It was like a map sensor error. So I reset the error codes, and boom, the map sensor error came back. And I was like, man, this sucks. So doing some research and talking to some people, we found that like the sensor in general almost never goes bad. And more than likely it was a tube that got disconnected to the throttle bodies. Because in order to, oh man, believe it or not, in order to get to the stator and disconnect it, you have to remove the throttle bodies. And I mean, it's just a disaster. So he did have to do all that. So I figured, well, maybe he forgot to do that. Maybe there was a hose that got missed. So today, you know, I took the whole bike, or not the whole bike, but I took off the air box and the throttle bodies and found the hose just like hanging around in there. And I found the piece where it was supposed to go to. Yeah, so I was able to connect it, put it all back together, and then, you know, I cleared the code, and boom, it was gone. It didn't come back. And not only that, I had taken it for, you know, the day that I saw the check engine light, I took it for like a short, like 15-minute spin, and no oil leaked. And so far, there hasn't been any oil leak. So I have a feeling that it had to do with the case gasket that was leaking a bit, because it wasn't a lot. It was just a little bit. So I'm pretty sure that's where that came from, and hopefully that's taken care of. So with that, oh man, I love this bike. Oh god, I love this bike. Yeah, with that, so far she seems good to go. She's running fucking great. Now, the one thing I still need to do, I need to get a rectifier. So she's still kind of having some issues starting when it's hot, and talking to them again, they can't mention, yeah, you're probably still going to need to get that rectifier. But that's easy. That's actually, the rectifier is just sitting on the fairing, so I'll probably order that, and then hopefully that clears up the entire issue, and she'll be running good as new. So now, I literally have 2 operating bikes, and oh man, I'm so excited to ride this thing. I've missed riding this. It's such a difference between riding this and the GSX. Like, this just has so much go. It has so much more juice. Swap meet? You guys need something? A little bed? You guys need a little something? Yeah. Like this right here. Watch. Ready? Oh, God. Yes. That's so much fun, man. I love this bike. I absolutely love this bike. One of the cool things is that I had, right before all this problems went down, I had literally just put brand new, EDC brakes, EBC brakes, some of the better brand or better model. Me and Kenny had just redone all the brake fluid and cleaned it all out, so we redid that. And the chain was pretty much brand new. I had just got tires on it, So it's got pretty much brand new tires, and she's ready to go. Like, I'm ready to ride this thing. So I'm probably going to actually ride this to work a few times now and swap between the GSX and this thing, because boy, did I miss this bike. It's just such a different experience. I appreciate you guys that have been sticking around and still watching my videos and hanging out with us on the other guys live and just chilling with us. I really am going to try to start putting out some more videos, some, you know, talk about some of the things that have kind of kept me from making videos. And hope to see you guys at SCMM. Make sure to go pick up your swag for SCMM, man. They really could use the support to make the event bigger and better than it's ever been. And I'll put the Teespring link down below, or the SCMM 2019 link down below. Go get your shit, man. Don't forget, Lee Stewart's out there making some of the better ones that you can pre-order, so go do that as well. And man, I hope to see you guys out there. It's going to be such an amazing time. I always enjoy it when I always enjoy hanging out with everyone out there. So yeah, make sure you guys come out to SCMM, support the whole event. Those guys are working hard to make this thing what it is. So with that said, man, let's get on this. Let's start trying to grind out, make some videos, make some good content for you guys, and see what the rest of 2019 has for us. It should be a lot of fun. With Kenny getting his H2, I'm sure we're going to be doing some riding out there and playing around with that thing. So until next time, guys, you guys have a fantastic day, weekend, whatever time it is you guys are watching this. Peace.